I have been sitting on this for a while now, and it's something that I need to get off my chest, and um, I just need people to know. So um, here goes. Um, over the summer of my, I guess the end of my sophomore year into my junior year, uh, I was raped, and it was by someone I knew. It was an encounter that I had originally um, wanted to happen, and um, it went too far. It was something that I wasn't comfortable with in the moment. So that's the first part of it, of the story, I guess. And then in November of this past year of 2016, um, on two separate occasions on the streets of New York City, I was sexually assaulted by two different individuals, and those events were extremely triggering, of course. One was a woman, and she came up to me and she started grabbing me and feeling me and saying inappropriate things, and I was very uncomfortable, and it was just something that I didn't want. It was unwanted sexual contact, and and it wasn't okay. It wasn't what I wanted to be done with my body. And then a second time was walking down the street on Lafayette Street, close to my dorm, and this man starts saying, "Hey, hey," and he catches up to me as I keep walking, and then he grabs my ass. And I don't remember what I said to him. I think something along the lines of "Don't ever fucking touch me again" or something like that. But the point is that yeah, these encounters were unwanted sexual advances. So yeah, uh, it's something that I've become incredibly passionate about. Being now that I'm a survivor of both rape and sexual assault, which are two very different experiences, and partially one because in one case I knew the individual, and in the other case they were strangers. I didn't know them. So it's incredibly important to talk about these things, and I think that it's necessary, and it's important to point out that the LGBTQIA plus community is much more likely to experience these awful events. I think the figures are upwards of 55% of bisexual women have experienced sexual assault or sexual violence. Over 50% of transgender men and women experience sexual violence, and it's more likely to affect LGBTQ people of color, um, and and our community faces a serious threat by existing, and I felt so alone. Um, it's weird because it's something that so many people experience, and yet you feel so alone. Maybe it's because it's something so personal. Your body is so you. No one else knows your body like you do. But it's an experience that so many people know. Yet you feel so isolated. And I'm just tired of not talking about it. It's not something that should be stigmatized. I, I didn't choose to be raped. I I want people to know that it's okay to talk about these things, and it's also okay to not talk about these things, because sometimes you're just not ready to grapple with it. But I'm personally tired of feeling alone, and people need to know that they don't get to own you. My body is my body. I own my body. And it's not okay. It's just not. Rape culture is despicable. And we've let it fester. Toxic masculinity and these stupid standards have made it okay for people to think that they can do these things, and it's not. So I think we need to know that there are others out there who have experienced the same things as we have, because that's what humanity is about. Humanity is about social connections and people. And as grim as it may be, it's important to know that other people know what you're feeling and what you're going through, and to know that you're not alone. Um, so I just I want people to feel comfortable to share their story, to feel comfortable saying that they were raped, and that's okay. You have I don't know. I feel like I have to move on. And a part of my moving on process is letting people know that I was raped. Um, yeah. So, I want to leave with this. I'm gonna do some subsequent videos. It's not all sad, right? One night I was up and I couldn't sleep because I kept replaying the scene through my head, and I was just laying in bed, and I tried watching Netflix to like drown out my thoughts and to fall asleep to Netflix, but I just it wasn't working. So I decided to write poetry. I don't know where the idea came from, but I opened up a document on my laptop and I just started letting my thoughts flow. And so I wrote 2 poems, and the subsequent videos will be those poems, and they were things that helped me cope with my experiences with sexual assault and rape. So I'm gonna record those and upload them. And then the last thing that I want to do, because I'm really passionate about survivors, specifically LGBTQ I plus people and youth particularly, is I'm starting a website that compiles resources that LGBTQIA plus people can go to, that they can call upon when they need to. There are smaller websites out there that have a little bit, but I want to really compile all the different things that are available so that we know where we can go when we feel alone. Something national that focuses on different resources in each state. And then another part of the platform is I want to share poems, pieces of theater, music, people's stories on the website so that people can see how many people are affected and can see how people are coping and not coping. It's a process, and it's a long process, and you may never you'll probably never heal. The truth is, but it's a process, and you work and you work and you work and you work, and as long as you're working on that process of healing, then you know life is worth it. So I think that will be a crucial component of it, is to see other people's stories. And what I'll be doing is taking submissions, and anyone that wants to submit something will put it up on the website and showcase the strength, but also the vulnerability of people. So I leave you with that.